Let's go to Chris Franklin, who joins us right now here on Birds 365. Follow him at C Franklin News. Read all his work at NJ.com. Chris, welcome to the show, man. You're coming into a Football Friday Thunderdome. How you doing, brother?
Not bad. Oh my gosh, it's vicious today. It's funny, but it's vicious. Good Lord.
Well, I mean, come on, because but Bobby Wagner's not good because he's 33 or whatever he is. I mean, come on.
And I'll add one thing too. Another impact player, I think, Frankie Lugo.
Frankie's the guy that you hate if he's on your favorite. You hate him if he's against your favorite team, but if he's on your favorite team, you love him. You love him.
And he's like, even though he did his best Ralph Wiggum impersonation on that goal line stand there, like that, he's still a decent guy. He's still a decent player. I wouldn't mind him on this team.
I love the fan base. You get one comment, Chris, where, oh, the Commanders are too old. And then you get the next man. Well, Jaden Daniels is too young. Come on. Get together. Have a meeting. Which one is it?
I thought it has to be one or the other. Nah, it can be mutually both. It can mutually not both. It's great.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it get whatever works that gets you wins and gets you Lombardis in the trophy case.
Exactly.
Hey, you'd be a no-name defense. Like last year, when you look at this team,
like the 1972 Miami Dolphins, no-name defense. Yeah,
it is a lot.
Chris, you don't have the Commanders winning the East, do you?
It's close. I think it comes down to a tiebreaker, but I had the Eagles winning it.
Yeah, whoever handles the games against, it's going to come down to a tiebreaker. Yeah, it's going to come down to the two games against each other. No doubt about it.
I got the Birds winning the East for the first repeat winner since 2004.
And I really can see that. And the thing is, I think the Commanders are going to be, even though the stupidest thing they did was to upset Terry McLaurin. I know it's working positively, but that can impact you into a game or two because he's going to have to, even though he might be working on the side, it's different from ramping up, it's different from being out there and stuff like that. That really can impact him in those fields and impact first. We all know how unpredictable week one is to begin with. But if you go 1-2 and then finally he's back to his normal self, then okay, go stay there. But that was stupid not to pay him early because now we know how tight this division can be. Now he made his cost himself the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the Eagles, hey, I'm just betting on history. 20 plus years, nobody has won back-to-back in the NFC East. That's all I'm betting on. And now it's been a two-horse race for many years. It was Eagles Cowboys, and they would jockey back and forth. And now it's Eagles Commanders. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles won, but wouldn't surprise me if the Commanders won. They have a little bit. The Eagles' schedule is brutal on paper. They have the first place schedule. So that's one of the reasons why it's not as big as a difference as it used to be, but you still have those 3 games where you're playing first place teams, and Washington gets the second place teams. Now, there's a lot of move. All teams aren't the same from year to year, but usually those first place teams are more difficult. So it's a more difficult road.
Yeah, it is. Even that stretch after the buys. What? Hey, you rested? Okay, good. Here's a Packer. Here's this too. So it's like stuff like that. So I'm looking at it. It's a tough road. It's not. Yeah, it's a tough road, but I still thinking when you look at overall talent, overall talent, it wins out.
I definitely think he's more talented. That wasn't the question that I was asked. I definitely think the Eagles are more talented. So I don't think Washington is a better team. But I used to have this argument with Jody all the time. The best team doesn't always win in football. That's why we have upsets, and that's why we have things. But, yeah, part of it is it's an unbalanced schedule. There's a 32-team league, and you play 17 games. That means you're not playing. Everybody's not playing the same teams. So things can work out kind of weirdly.
And getting back to that, with the Eagles and the Commanders, they better win that division because as a 5 seed, you're probably going to the NFC South champion. And who does it look like it's going to be again this year? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The last thing I want to see Tampa is in Tampa in January in the wild card round. We've been down that road twice before. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, it's a house of horrors. It has been for the Eagles. They did win down there once early in the season when they were healthy. They're rarely healthy when they play Tampa, which is a big part of it.
Chris, we're going to get into obviously some of the stuff on the docket today. Not very exciting what's on the docket tonight, but we'll talk about it nonetheless. But I do want to open with the question I asked John a little bit ago. What will be the biggest challenge for the 2025 Eagles this year?
It's a boring answer, but it's really true when you look at it. It's their health, because Lane, we see what happens when he's not in the lineup. You got a lot of inexperience, somewhat, especially against that CB2. I'm worried about that a little bit, but I think this team's really top heavy. I mean, I think we've seen that in the preseason in terms of you look at the starters, okay, you feel comfortable with them. But if one of them goes down, look at the edge rushers. If you lose Nolan Smith or Jalen Hunt.
Oh gosh, don't even get me thinking about that.
I'm sorry. You lose that. Okay, like wide receiver, you're fine. You lose Saquon Barkley because everybody says about when you look at the whole workload thing, whenever he misses a couple games, 2-3 games here or there. Will Shipley can hold you over for a while.
I think Will's had a great summer, by the way.
He has. Yeah. Will's had a good summer.
Yeah, he looks sharp. You see why he's developing. You see that quickness in the head. You can make that big play explosive ability. Yeah. That where over time, if he's got to have a much increased workload over a couple of times. And then offensive line. And Jalen and stuff beforehand. We're going to see it early now. If Landon has to leave out or what have you, if he's back day one or not, we're going to need to see that depth. So you need this team to stay healthy. And it's a crapshoot. You don't know. That's the worst part. Not knowing about, like, hey, if they stay healthy, what have you, and looking at the depth that they have now.
Speaking of health, is Johnny Wilson a bigger loss than people realize? That dude played 33% of the snaps last year in the regular season. I think people don't realize that. And it was, let's be honest, it was the block for Saquon Barkley. And at 6'6" and 230 pounds, there aren't too many receivers that can block like Johnny Wilson. Now, when you talk about blocking with receivers, it tends to be a bad thing, Chris, because they don't catch the ball that well. That was the case with Johnny, but he was getting better in that aspect. But for this team, for this specific team, that was a big role. And then you lose that particular player. Is that a bigger loss than people realize?
I think so, because when you look at not only for the fact of blocking, you're blocking on the edge, and we all know most defensive backs, they have to make business decisions when it comes to, do I really want to get involved? Do I really want to lower my shoulder? And you have this guy at his size on the outside edge. Yeah, it is big on that one. When it comes to wide receiver screens, it's big on that one. And even in the run game. And then the thing that really had me is, yeah, he has that knack for dropping balls. We all know his knack. But when you saw that preseason game, the first one especially, what he can do when he's really on, then you got the threat of, oh, you want to run these screens? Oh, you want to come out there? Oh, he's only coming out here and block. All of a sudden, you start to develop that, and like, oh, well, we got to move back a little bit because we got to respect it. I think he was starting to gain that respect for, being a player. He may not be a 50-catch guy. He wants you to get a first down here or there. You got to respect it. So you lose the edge. You lose him on the edge there. You lose him in the wide receiver game. So, and he's not a tight end. To me, he's a hybrid because he's still in that way. Winds up close to that nasty slot, what have you. It's not like the one like, we're not going to the Super Bowl now. Oh, great with that. But it's still enough where it's like, okay, you see his impact and it can be felt. Don't get me wrong. But even with Mechie coming in there, I think he can do some stuff that I kind of excited for, especially early downs. But in that run game, I think he's going to be missing.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Well, let me ask you both this about the blocking with Johnny. Do you guys think this puts more on AJ and Devontae to block more? Now, they were going to block anyway, and they're good. They're both pretty good at it. AJ's great at it, and Devontae's pretty damn good at it for his size. But is more of that blocking that you got with Johnny Wilson going to be put on those receivers? And why I think that's a concern is, AJ, that's harder on a receiver. It's like ticks on the body. You eventually it wears down a little bit more. AJ missed 4 games last year. I don't think we want to go time without those guys. Do you think that's at all an impact, or will they just play the game a different way?
I think there's ways you can get around it. I think the good thing, one thing they like to do already is split out Dallas Goedert, so you can just and probably incorporate that more. Will there be more of a tell? Potentially, but the fact you split him out a little already, and instead of just going, okay, he's an inline guy, because I think if you saw Grant Calcaterra going out there more and Dallas was not there, it's like, all right, yeah, run's going this way, run's going this way, all right, let's go straight.
Exactly.
I think they can get away with some of that stuff. Maybe you run more counters, so that way you overload that one toe and just make it less the count. Look at the backside count, and just run try to do that. There's little creative ways they can do around that, but instead of just going like, oh yeah, we're just lining Johnny out. Yeah, good luck. We'll just run behind him. Yeah, you kind of miss that.
I said before he came on, you know who's the biggest winner? I hate to call him winner when somebody gets hurt, but the biggest winner in the Johnny Wilson injury, E.J. Jenkins, Chris Franklin.
Yeah.
E.J. Jenkins, because he can move a little bit. He's up to 260. The Eagles think he's going to be a good blocker now. You do it differently, though. You flex him out, as you mentioned with Dallas Goedert. So you might have more 12 personnel versus 11 personnel. And you don't have that, Grant's a great hands, improved player, but he's not the best blocker in the world. I think EJ can do a better job in the blocking aspect of it. I think he might make the team because of that injury. Am I crazy? Give me my 53. That's one of my surprises.
I can see that happening, even just for the fact that, okay, like, okay, we don't want to guarantee one guy on defense. Let's add him up a little bit, have him up for his game, maybe even. And I don't foresee them trying to either want to practice squad 3 times early and burning him, bringing him up and then trying to get him through waiver. I can see that happening right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think with him, like Johnny, is when it comes to big times, like see if you need him to catch the ball. For some reason, I think
EJ will catch the ball too. I think he'll catch it. Although he had some trouble late in camp, he had a couple drops. But we'll see.
Chris, back in the wide receiver room, though, and I think it's made maybe a little less complicated with the injury to Johnny Wilson. But I'm going to pose to you and each, and/or would you keep Ainias Smith or Darius Cooper? Now, I personally think they're going to end up keeping both of them. But it's possible they don't, or they need to go with E.J. Jenkins, like John just said. If you could only keep one, Ainias or Darius Cooper, where are you going?
I know it's not going to be the popular opinion. I'm going Ainias. And for me, it comes down to special teams. Yeah. Because of that little tweak that the NFL made in regards to the kickoff, where you can have a third person back there in the landing zone, where you can either have 3, you can move freely around, they can help block, whatever. His punt return ability, and I think that goes a big way if I have to use that. Also, I'm so high. I still think that you can use him in a way, and he'd say his career path is turning into Steve Austin's, where it's not really, you don't see him on the field as much. Right. But I think you can use him in little creative ways in the backfield.
Manufacture touchways, which the Eagles do not do, but they always talk about. So we want to get involved. We want to get them involved. They said the same thing about then they go, oh, you know what? Forget about that. We're just going to run what we run. But yeah, I hear you. Chris is right. They talk about it all the time, and they want to develop that part of the game, but they never do. So yeah,
so much. I just see so much you can do, because when he's going and he's healthy, and you look at Texas A&M, when you just try to superimpose.
Oh yeah, he played everywhere. He played from the backfield. He can do a lot of different things. But that's for Kyle Shanahan, not the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just proving that out. But that is a tough one, because I think Ainias can do more. He's got the higher pedigree. He's the draft pick. He's the potential punt and kick returner. He's the manufactured touch guy. He can play receiver as well. He started to get a little bit better. Ran those 2 slants and got separation against Cleveland. But Cooper has made more splashy plays as a receiver, and people notice that. Maybe they keep them both, but here's I'm going to throw another wrinkle at you, Chris Franklin, to your special teams, which I think is very astute. Avery Williams. What the hell are you doing with Avery Williams?
I'm adding him to the practice squad and elevating him and keeping him around that aspect. To me,
All right.
I just don't know.
I don't
I
even
mean,
think he should make the team, but I get this feeling that the Eagles want him on the team. They constantly talk about him. He's a core special teamer, yada yada yada. I don't see it, but
I talk about more about him and try to downplay the Cooper thing so I can hide Cooper in case if I really have. I think they both make it on there. I do, but I think I try to hype up Avery Williams a lot more. Like, oh yeah, this guy's great. Look at that for it. Oh, don't worry about Cooper. Nothing to see here. Avery Williams is good. Avery Williams is good. Gives it.
yeah, maybe,
Who's that guy?
maybe.
No. Cooper, stay back there. Don't say anything. Don't talk anything. And yeah,
Now, the
run out of
one
our
thing
locker room.
though, the one thing about Avery, he seems very sure catching. As a punt returner, he's very sure catching the football. Anias is it's kind of a,
Yeah.
it's an event. It's an event when he's back there. It's what Nick would always say about Britton Covey. Well, the first thing with punt, you got to secure the ball before you do anything else. You can't turn it over. So that might hurt Anias because he's just not consistent enough catching the football as a punt returner.
Yeah, it does in that aspect, but I also look at it when it comes to, even though I know it's preseason, you're down the red zone and you get your opportunities. What do you do with the opportunities when you hit the targets down there? And he's done well down there in the
Yeah.
targets,
Oh
touchdowns.
yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I think that's a big key. Granted, if I have a guy like 3 or 4 yards off me, which I still feel like I don't know why they were even running that, like a guy running soft coverage at the goal line, and you let that receiver do a slant inside the slot, yeah, but anywho, yeah, he was making the best of his the targets inside the red zone there, and I think that plays a role too.
Chris, who are you most excited to watch tonight in the Eagles versus Jets preseason game number 3? I know your excitement is boiling over right now.
Crowd's going mild right now. But
That's part of going into MetLife Stadium. The crowd going mild.
It is.
It's dark and gray. The whole stadium. Look, it's a big gray. Yeah, I don't like that stadium. And but the crowd goes mild. I like that description.
it's only because I'm looking at, I want to see how they bounce back, and this is a last chance. This is another interesting decision that they're going to have to make. I want to see Kyle McCord. I want to see what he does. That was awful last week. There's no way to put it around it. It was bad. It was bad.
Well, who was worse
was
though?
bad.
I thought he was better.
He was definitely better, but it was pick your pile of shit. That was basically what it was.
Yeah, that one there's only 3/4 instead of yeah. But I want to see how he does, and if this is a chance, if he flashes anything, because I was looking at that game and I'm like, you know what? I was at the point of saying, you know what, maybe you try to sneak him on the practice squad at this point, because I frankly I haven't seen it. So I want to see how he bounces back.
So are you keeping 2 quarterbacks and going the practice squad, or you cutting them both? You're not keeping DTR, are you?
I was going to keep DTR.
Oh,
I really was. Because some of those things, I forget the tackle, was Mims or whatever. That lookout block, it wasn't even a lookout. If you're going to do a lookout block, if you get beat so badly, they just go, oh, look out! Don't even say anything. You just turn around, and go, oh, okay, and then you sack it, and you saw what happened with that. It was bad.
In a weird way, I'm excited to see. Well, excited is the wrong word. I'm excited to see the Jets quarterback. Adrian Martinez. I don't know if he's going to play, but here's the reason why. He was the UFL MVP. Now, who cares, right? I agree with you, but
Birmingham, though.
I do. Yeah, Birmingham Stallions, UFL MVP. But my assumption, and this goes way back because I'm old, to the old World League of American Football, where guys would go over there and get to play and develop. Brad Johnson went over there. Jake Delhomme went over there. Kurt Warner went over there. I think you have to play the position to develop. I don't think you can develop well behind the scenes, getting the occasional 3rd-team rep or doing scout teams. So I don't know how you fix that for the Eagles, but somebody like Adrian Martinez that goes out and was a decent college player, and he goes and plays in the UFL and has a lot of success, and now he's back. I think that's the better way to go about it when you're talking about bottom roster. Obviously not. You can't risk top tier prospects, but if you're talking about developmental guys, let them go play, man. You can't learn against air.
And that's why I wish there were more UFL teams. Even it's almost like AA as compared to AAA, the European Football League. They have still around still. That's still up and running. I wish they had ways where it was during the season where you go, all right, Kyle, listen, you're not going to get play here. Even if you made a team and you hold a clipboard or you're just standing around there smiling, going, hey, I'm like, you're not coming in unless you're an emergency guy. At least like you say, I wish they had it incorporated more when they ran the line. It'd probably be a profit loss, but at least you get a lot of these guys who, like you see what happens with Major League Baseball. A lot of these guys that keep fresh and keep running. Johan Rojas, he's going down the poles to get at bats. He's doing okay, better doing some of that stuff. So I wish it was something you saw something along the lines of that. But yeah, it's really tough. You can try to do all the virtual reality you can in the world.
Yeah.
You can try to run 7-on-7s as much as you can in the world on a Friday, what have you. It's not the same as seeing a live blitz and the threat of somebody coming in and knocking you out, as opposed to just going,
it's
oh
not
no,
the same
thud,
as
can't touch a red shirt. Okay.
It's not the same as seeing a predator on ice skates on grass, whatever the hell that means. But that's what Cam Jurgens called Myles Garrett. To see that coming at you live and in color, that's a little bit different from the virtual reality stuff. So, yeah, I mean, reps mean so much for the quarterback position. And the bottom line is when Tanner McKee went down with his finger injury, Kyle's getting all the second team reps. So I think he's won the job, but we'll see how it shakes out. I guess they could be hiding Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Wouldn't be the strangest thing in the world, but
I'm tells me they're not hiding Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Week one, Chris Franklin, I'm at the point where, well, it may not be long term, but you got to stick with the Dorian Sidney Brown week one. Where are you with those two particular positions?
I'd rather keep Sidney. Just because safety. Look at how pretty much thin and in the uncertainty we get with Mukuba. I know he's showed very good things, but he's been being dinged up a couple times. So
yeah,
health wise, you get that. So you need him.
That ain't good. First training camp, he's hurt twice.
The Adoree Jackson thing. I'm leaning. See, this is a good time. I'm not doing the 53 competition this year because I'd be one leaning on cut and then bring him back.
Well, that screws with me. I hate that rule, Chris. I hate the new rules because it makes it easier for GMs. I want to make it hard on them. Give them a challenge. If you want to keep a veteran, you got to keep them. Now they can do all this. Hey, wink, wink. We're going to bring you back. We're going to put you on the practice squad. I don't like that. Because it cost me the 53-man pool last year, mainly. But I don't like it because I think
Darius Cooper is going to cost you this year, John.
It might, but I had Gates making the team because he deserved to make the team as the backup center, and the Eagles made a freaking deal, put it in his contract. I didn't even know you could do that. To say, hey, we're going to cut you, but we're going to bring you back. We're going to elevate you, and we're going to put you on the roster. That's bullshit, Chris Franklin.
And I think it's going to be addressed in the next CBA. I think something's going to happen. One say like they want to try to get their players to push for it a little bit more. Yeah. But it's crazy, and it's something you got to take into account. And I know Adoree, I think he's making like 1.3 million. It's nothing major, but the fact that it's guaranteed. And every little bit helps in case you need to make roster moves along the season, bring guys in, bring guys out, and the lingering effects. That impacts it a while. So that's why I wonder about him being one of those week one cuts, and then all of a sudden week two.
I'll tell you who that is for me. It's not Adoree because they need Adoree too much. I don't think they can fuck around with Adoree. But Brett Toth, I could see him getting cut on Tuesday next week and then starting against Dallas on September 4th.
Another guy. Yep.
If Landon's not ready.
He's done it before. He's stayed around besides going that Cardinals trail, then he stayed with his organization through many of the things as a practice squad guy or in any active roster. I can see him like
But see, I'm overthinking it, Chris. I'm overthinking all this shit because of this stupid rule and these stupid. I hate it.
I hate it. There's a lot of rules, man. They keep adding them, John.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing. I can see Adoree have the same thing happen, but they elevate him like, listen, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. When we sign a contract, we may throw 50,000 extra or whatever the difference was for that first week. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll add something so you get it.
Yeah.
But,
come on, NFL, get your act together.
it's Adoree's a guy I'm questioning. I have a question about when it comes to that. I think he still plays week one. I do, but is it elevation or is it active roster guy?
Chris, a necessary evil here. I got to ask you, and you can shoot me down, okay? Because John has shot me down on it many times.
All right, let me get ready. All right, what's up?
Is there any concern at all about A.J. Brown's hamstring?
All right, so Zayton's no, there's no concern. The only concern I would have is if it kept propping up, saying like, okay, he's less than 100%, and it lingers in like week 7, 8, and it keeps going down, and he plays instead of like resting, what have you. But no, from all accounts, what I've heard, I don't have any concern. I think he'll be good to go.
Yeah, I think so too. Chris, great stuff today, man. We appreciate you doing it as always. We love talking to Chris Franklin here on Bird. I told you last time we didn't have you on for a bit. I had comments. They were coming from my head. They were like, I'm not watching Bird 365 anymore unless you get Chris Franklin back on. I'm like, oh, shit. I got to call Chris. So we appreciate you coming on, brother. Make sure you guys follow him at C. Franklin News and read all his work at NJ.com. Chris, one of the best in the business, man. We appreciate you doing it today.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, buddy. You going tonight, by the way?
Nope.
All right.
I'm sorry.
God, you're lucky.
John's like, shit, you're lucky. Man. I might, John, reroute your GPS to go to Chris's house. Yeah, have some beers and watch the game. All right, Chris. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you guys. See you.
See you, bud.
Chris Franklin joining us right here on Birds 365. Great stuff there, John. We didn't take a break yet, so I should probably get one. I'll take it around 55. Your last couple thoughts, John, here. We got 10 minutes left to go on the show. Preseason game tonight. I did want to do a full roster prediction, but we could probably do that on Monday, John. We'll run down the 53-man predictions. At that point, I'm not sure how close you are to finishing up your thought. I know you guys do it with the beat reporters, but coming into the game tonight, John, I do think there's a couple valuable players to watch in the game. I think the receivers are some. I think the corners are some. I think the rookies are some if they play. I don't know if do you think Jahad Campbell will play tonight?
No, I don't.
No? Shit.
No.
That takes some air out of that balloon.
I think that's why Chance Campbell is here. Yeah, I don't think he's going to play. But, the two most interesting guys to me are, three are Cooper for obvious reasons. Everybody's so fired up about Cooper. I think for the Eagles, it's better if he has a bad game, unfortunately, but I think it depends how you look at it. I think if he shines like he did in the first preseason game, I think he's making the team because I think they won't risk him on waivers. I think I think you're risking your title this year, John. I think you're risking it with Cooper, man. Yeah, I think if he's nondescript, they'll try to get him on the practice squad, but we'll see how that shakes out. The most important ones to me are Mechie and Bennett because they just got here and they might be meaningful contributors. Yeah, right. And they'll both be playing. So those are the two most meaningful to me. EJ Jenkins. My buddy EJ Smith from the now PHLY. Right, that's right. He left the A. He switched up, so that's good. So a little shout out to EJ, who will be there, thankfully. At least some people will be there. EJ Jenkins, for the reasons I talked about, the Johnny Wilson injury. I think that's interesting. Montrell Johnson's a guy I like. Anais Smith, who we also talked about. Byron Young, who I I like evidently a little bit more than the Eagles. Mac McWilliams as a guy's going to make the team that's going to have to play tonight. Ty Robinson, guy's going to make the team that's going to have to play tonight. Guys like that.
We'll see how it all shakes out tonight in the preseason game. Eagles versus Jets tonight to close out the preseason. The preseason games start, they go like this, and then they just quit. The first one was pretty fun, actually. I enjoyed it. Tanner McKee was throwing dimes everywhere. Darius Cooper was emerging. Johnny Wilson made some big catches. The first preseason game was a lot of fun. And now we're going into preseason game number 3. Not as fun. John, we'll do a little pregame tonight, not long, and then we'll do a little postgame tonight, and then we'll wrap that thing up and get out of there. Feel free to do the postgame from the car if you want to get out of there quickly. John, you just let me know whatever you want to do with it, and we'll do that tonight. John, great stuff tonight, man. I'm going to take a commercial break because we haven't taken one yet, and then I'll close up the last couple of minutes. Your final thoughts before that preseason game kicks off tonight.
I'm already dreading hitting the New Jersey Turnpike at about
the minute you get up to North Jersey, John, it just feels like a New York suburb. There's so many cars and traffic and people drive. It's just a night.
Last 10 miles or so, and it's going to be rush hour too, so I'm going to try to leave early, but we'll see how it shakes out. But hopefully I'll make it, and then we'll have a pregame.
Yeah, right. All right, J-Mac, good stuff, man. I appreciate you doing it today. We'll catch up with you tonight before the game. All right, brother?
All right. See you, everybody.